Hello FIFA fans and welcome to this updated tutorial video for Aranactu's cheat table for FIFA 18 on the PC. Now, first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone who has watched my previous tutorial videos. The main one, the first one I released, has got over 50,000 reviews, which is pretty sweet. Also, just a massive thank you to Aranactu because I did the first tutorial video quite some time ago now, and to be honest, I played all the tables over the FIFA 16, 17. I've never actually seen as much content put into this table, and he really has blown out the park. So there is a real need for this tutorial video because so much has been added to the table. It'll all be timestamped, so if you aren't so new to the table and you just want to jump to a particular section, then you can do that. This tutorial was made for everyone, so fresh out the packet. If you literally have never used the table before, or if you've used it a lot and you just want to find out maybe what a new feature does, or there's something you haven't really tested or you don't really want to test because you're worried it might ruin your career mode, hopefully I should cover it in this. Now, before I do go on, I have to say I'm not going to cover everything because I don't use everything. Although I might know what it does, I'm not going to show you how to do it. There is the information out there, but I'm going to cover the main things that people want to use. And the main things that I use, I have my career mode series that I utilize a lot of things in it. The first thing we're going to cover in this video is basically what is the FIFA 18 cheat table. The FIFA 18 cheat table, it's run on a program called Cheat Engine, and you'll be able to find all the links for everything that I talk about in this video in the description, so it's very clear. But essentially what Cheat Engine is, it can be used on loads of games, and it's a way of just editing the coding. So it's quite popular for games in single player, where, you know, things like ammunition, things where there is a value that can be changed and it's not going to affect too much in a negative way. And what Aranactu's cheat table does is it basically means that you can change loads and loads of things in a career mode save, because there are a load of things that are very, you know, visual and cosmetic that EA don't allow us access to, but they are just embedded within the database, and little changes here and there, they're not going to affect your save, they're not going to make it, you know, generally have a bad impact on it, but it can really open up this new way of playing. So that's what the cheat table is there for. It's there to edit values within the game. Next question is, how can you get it? Well, the links are in the description and it is free to download. Okay, so just follow one of the links and I give you the option for the direct link download. There is also a link to the website where you can get it. I do try and update the direct link as much as possible, but if you do have problems, it is very, very likely that I just maybe haven't updated the link. So then it's best to just dive to the website, and then from there, you'll be able to download the most up-to-date version yourself. So of course, I'm assuming that you have downloaded Cheat Engine first of all. You've followed the links, you've downloaded the table, happy days, and of course you have FIFA 18 installed on your PC. If there's all thumbs up there, then you're good to go. So the first thing that I would say do, load up FIFA 18. The screen you see right here, this is the screen you want to get to just to be safe. Okay, so once you have this screen, then you want to do is you want to tab out of it and go to the Cheat Engine. I haven't opened Cheat Engine, then opened the table. I've just literally double-clicked on the Cheat Engine table that's saved to my desktop. And this is what it will bring up. Now, nothing can happen right now. We need to establish the link between the game and the table. So the first thing we want to do is click File. Then we click Open Process. Now you can see all the processes that you have running on your CPU here. So of course it's FIFA 18. Now just make sure here that if you see a couple of them, it's maybe because you've got the starter FIFA 18 window popped up. Make sure they're all closed and you just got the main game. Then you want to do is click Open. Okay, so right now that means the table is linked to FIFA 18, so it can essentially access all the data. Now we still can't do a lot here, so the first thing we have to do is we need to click Activate first. Pretty simple, right? So before we have a look at everything here, a few quick notes. The first thing you can see here, crack game version is not supported. That question does pop up quite a lot. So yeah, it's not supported. So now you guys know. Cool. You have the README here and you can follow the link to the website, or there are the video tutorials, there's mine. And of course, Aranactu does actually release a few himself, mainly for the more confusing stuff that maybe just needs a little bit more visual. They're not audio-based tutorials, but if you are quite familiar with the table, they are pretty good. I use them myself just to have a look at and be like, okay, cool, that's the new feature, happy days. One of the important things here, and again, the link is in the description, we have the Discord support channel. If you have any questions, if you have any bug reports, if you have anything really that relates to the table, this is your place to go. Now, there is a frequently asked questions link, and that is in the description as well. So if you have just got a general question, like maybe why is this not working, or where can I find this, etc., it is a very good FAQ, and it answers all the kind of main ones. But this is the Discord channel here. Again, link is in the description. Now, this is something that's pretty darn cool. FIFA Tracker is a website, as far as I know, that Aaron2, I know Aaron2 runs it. I'm assuming he set it up himself. I haven't actually had a chance to chat to him to just get that confirmation, but I'm pretty sure it's just his website that he's created. And essentially what it allows you to do is it allows you to upload your FIFA 18 career mode save, and you can view a whole host of things. So you'll be able to search for players, you'll be able to see regens, you'll be able to see pre-gens, you'll be able to see loads of different things. The link is in the description, and there is a tutorial. This is based on the table, but there is a tutorial about the FIFA tracker and exactly what you can do. It is pretty freaking awesome. It's a great way of you finding, let's say, players. If you want to find really good potential players in your save, that's the way you can do it. And you can also, it's loads of different things you can do. So I'd recommend checking out fifatracker.net. If you do want to support the author, which is Aaron2, that is the link to his PayPal. I've done that several times because for me, I've used this table for years, and really without it, I wouldn't be playing FIFA. I really wouldn't, because it has no depth, FIFA. It really doesn't in the career mode, but this table allows you to just, it's awesome. That's what I say. It's freaking awesome. So if you want to donate, happy days. Now that that is out the way, let's have a look at the table. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start from the top, and we're going to work our way down, and then we're going to keep jumping in-game and back out of game into the table, and we're going to have a look kind of what's changing, okay? So the first tab is online, and this relates to the disconnect bypass. I haven't used it myself. I only use a table for the single player. You can use it online for certain things, but this tutorial is based just on all the cool things you can do with it. Things like that. I'm not going to go into too much detail. So the first thing we're going to look at here, and this is a new addition, is the unique player movement. Now, this is probably a good one to start on because it is a little bit more in-depth than some of these other options. There is a little bit more to do. So first of all, what is this unique player movement? As you may or may not know, there are players in the game that have special running movements, such as, well, the main one is Ronaldo, to be honest. It really does stand out. But these are some of the other players that Aaron2's put in here. So you can have your player run like Robin. I think he has a bit of like a velociraptor. He keeps his hands quite close to his chest when he runs. Maybe a little bit more like a T-Rex. But you have like Sterling. I'm not sure what Fernando Torres' run is actually. Not too sure what that is. Luis Suarez and these. And then you've got the unique sprint styles here. And this is the one that's going to relate to Cristiano Ronaldo there. So when he is running on the ball, of course, Bale has one as well. So how these work, the first thing to say with these is they're scripts, okay? And because they're linked to animation, and animation is linked to ID of the player, these aren't permanent changes. So if you have a player in your save that you think, I want him to run like Cristiano Ronaldo, as I did a while ago, I thought that'd be kind of cool. That player can run like Cristiano Ronaldo, but only whilst the script is running. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now, the best way to probably do this is, first of all, jump onto fifatracker.net and then go to players, which is up here. And then this is where you can search loads of players. You can, of course, do this with your save. So like I say, you can upload your save and then you can find an ID for a player this way. But let's just say you wanted to have, you could have someone like Buffon. Let's say you want Buffon to run like Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, so what you do is, this is his ID here. This is what this one is. So his ID is that. So you want to do is you would click on this and then Control C. Obviously, however you do it, that's just copying it. And then what you want to do is you want to go back to the table. Click on this like the sprint style you want. So I want Cristiano Ronaldo. Now you have to edit the script. This option right here, change script. So you click on that one. And this is what the one you're looking for, this line right here. It says local player IDs. So this is the player ID. Is you want to delete that one. And then you put in the player, the target ID of the player you want. Then you click OK. Okay, simple as that. Now then, when you select this, you would jump back in game. You would load up your career mode, okay, assuming you have Buffon. And then when you control Buffon, he will then run, like when you're running with him, he will run like Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not going to show you because it would take me a very long time to go through each individual bit here, and I'd have to have a career mode with X player or so. So this is just to show you how exactly you do it. Okay, you load your career mode, happy days. The player you've chosen to run like Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, would then run like him. Now, the second you decide to close the game down, you're done playing, the next time you load the game, if you haven't got this script activated again, then the player will not run like Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, cool. So that one's hopefully quite straightforward. You can see all the details here. They all work the same. The key thing is what you want to make sure you do is, of course, you change the script, and then it's the player ID in here, the local player ID. That's the one you want to be changing, okay? And you can get that ID from FIFA Tracker. So moving on to the next tab then, and that is editing database. Now this is the one that I use a lot. This is one you have to tread with caution, okay? Because you can make some pretty, you can make some changes that can affect the save and you can ruin things. So just, you know, tread very lightly. Now we have 3 options here. We have the player table, we have the team kits table, and we have the manager table. This is one that's been in there for some time. The new ones are the team kits table and the manager table. I'm going to quickly talk about the team kits and the manager because I shouldn't really have to go into too much detail with these because they are relatively quick. You should only probably use them once, maybe. So the first database table we're going to look at is the team kits table. So we're going to click on that, and this relates to your team's kits. Now this is something I haven't actually used yet, so I will just very briefly talk about it, and more information will be released in the FAQs and the links that I've provided. But effectively, you can change things when it comes to the kit. So you can change things like the font type, the font color, on the shirts and whatnot. And you can even go as far as, we can see here, so team kit ID 1500. I'll jump back in game and we can see that that relates to Real Madrid shirt here. And then if I go left to this kit, jump back into the table, you'll now see that that's 1498. So you could effectively basically change your team kit ID from Real Madrid if you wanted to wear a Chelsea shirt and whatnot. But I have to be honest, I haven't used this like I said, so sorry if I'm falling a little bit short here in the tutorial with the team kits table, but I haven't used that at all. You can't change loads of things as in like the kit color and things, so you know, it's not there to be for you to think, oh wow, awesome, I can completely change the kit or change the color. No, you can change the font, okay? So you can change the font, the numbers and things like that, and the actual team kit ID to give yourself the kit, let's say, of Chelsea or, like I said, whoever you want, okay? But that's what that table is there for. So the next database table we're looking at is the manager table, and this really is useful. It can be used for something as simple as if you would like to change your manager. Let's say when you start the career mode, he was wearing a suit and you think, actually, I want him to wear trackies. You can do that. I'm not entirely sure what all the different codes are. There is one way you can do it is you can just start a new dummy career mode with, let's say, the suit, and then another one with the tracksuits, and then when you load it up, you'll be able to see here. Now, the way to make things apply, it's quite important. What you need to do is you'll be able to see all these details when you are at an away game. So I'll just show you quickly in game. So right now we have an away game. So what we'd do is we'd play the match, okay? And I'll just click play. So here I've jumped into the away game. So I'll go back to the table. And the thing, let's say if we want to change my manager's head, this is head ID, and I've just got one of the generic guys, obviously. So let's just say I want to change it to Messi. Now, there's something called Frosty tool, again, link in the description, and that's where you can find a lot of things like the IDs. If you have a look at the frequently asked questions, that has a lot of things that relate to some of the codes for like some of the more cosmetic stuff, such as tattoos, positions, nationalities, and whatnot. I've got and I'll upload it as well. At the end of this video, I'll show you, and there will be links to loads of hair IDs that I gathered myself. But for now, let me just put this in. I know this is Messi's ID, his head code, so I'll click OK. And then what you'd want to do, I'll jump back in game, and nothing's going to work now. What I would need to do is I would need to click on the start button, and then I would need to click forfeit match. And so now that I've forfeited the match, what we want to do is we want to go to the next game. And as we can see here, there we go. There's my manager on the sideline, and he looks awfully like Messi, doesn't he? And that's as simple as that, guys. And if you want to make any other changes, like I say, to the suit and whatnot, just do the same kind of process. But that is how it works. You change the ID of the head or whatever you want to change, his height, whatnot, etc. And make sure it's the away game. And then when you go into the next game, it will be it will show. Make sure if you want to make those changes permanent, you have to save the game, but those changes will be permanent, okay? So the main database, and it's one that I spend most of my time in, is the player table. And here, this is where you can edit a whole host of things. Okay, so we're gonna keep these two for the moment. We're not gonna open up these. The ones we want to open up is the player info, the attributes, traits, accessories, appearance, other. Okay, so quite a lot here. And again, it would take me a long time to go through every single one of them. course, there is a lot of options here. I won't be able to go through every single one, but they all apply the same, as in the process I'm going to show you how to apply things and how to change things. It's the same for all of it. So as long as you're following this process, you'll be able to edit any single one of these. Okay, so the first thing is we've selected this. Okay, so we've got the player tables. Now I've opened all these, and then what you want to do is you want to go to the player hub. This is my series, so let's just say probably my favorite player at the moment, which is Luna. Let's just have a play around with Luna. Okay, so let's go back out. We are now. This is everything that relates to Luna. We can see his overall is 90. That is correct. This is his player ID. Like it says there, don't change. If you're not sure and it's not obvious, don't play around with things. Things like preferred foot. 0 is right foot. 1 is left footed. Okay, so we're going to change that to left foot, let's say. Nationality. If we want to change nationalities, the link's in the description. We want to go to this site. And we can see the site here, github.com/AaronActus and everything. This is, like I say, it's in the link. And these are all the nationalities. So literally loads and loads of nationalities. So let's say if we want to change his nationality. So let's say we want to change his nationality to Barbados. That's 66. We can see there. Boom. Barbados is 66. So we go back to the table. His current nationality is 83. Let's change that to 66. Click OK. The join team date, this is coded. So let's just say if you wanted to change this, the best and easiest way to do it is if you go to a player, let's say that's just recently joined a team. If that's, I don't know why you'd want to do it, or if you want to apply a player that's been at a team a long time. So let's just say I'll just use someone like, let's say John Terry. Let's say he was still at Chelsea. Of course, his player join team date would have been coded here. So when you clicked on John Terry in game, assuming he was at Chelsea, you would just copy this and then you'd paste it to whatever player you want. And then that means they'd been there for a long time. So the loyalty and one club player thing would apply there. Okay, same goes if it was a new player and you just wanted to, let's say if a player's been there for years, but you actually wanted it to show that he'd only been there recently, then you would go to someone who's recently joined the club and then you copy this code. Okay. International reputation. Again, the best way to do this, just to be safe, is just go to someone that's got a decent international reputation. So go to someone like Ronaldo, go to someone like Messi, copy that over. If you want your player, a certain player to have a good international rep, then copy it in there. The gender, 0 is male. You can change it to female, a bit weird, but you can do. Okay, so the next one we have preferred position. Okay, so the preferred position is a position that is, of course, preferred. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then up here we have 4. So you know where it says on the player, and I'll just show you in game. We see here it says Luna can play centre mid and centre defensive mid. He could have 4, so he could have centre mid, centre defensive mid. We could have, let's say, centre back, and we could have striker. We could have whatever we want, okay? For the position IDs, again, I'll just show you quickly on the website. So we can see here on Fearless, this has the player position IDs, okay? We can see from the matrix here that 14 is centre mid. That's correct. Now, if you wanted to have centre mid as the secondary position, it wouldn't be 14, it goes up 1, so it would be 15. Okay, so let's just say we wanted his secondary position to be left mid. It wouldn't be 16, we'd put on the secondary position, it would be 17. Okay, it's just a 1+ for everyone bar the first position. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. The preferred position 1, yep, that's the true value that you'll see on the table I've just shown. But if you want to have that exact same one, but you wanted it to have, let's say, left mid, or like it says here, centre mid, if I wanted them to say centre mid, it would be 15. Okay, just goes up by 1. And we'll see that in a second. The contract valid until length, that is pretty self-explanatory. That is literally just the year, so 2028. So if there's a player that you want to have, you can extend that ridiculous. You can have it 10 years plus or whatever. The potential over here, this is the player potential. So Luna, we can see actually has a potential of 91. You could amend this if you wanted to. You could put in 99. I don't know if it'll ever reach the 99. I only ever see it stopping out really about 92, 94. This one it's awesome when this one got introduced. Absolutely love it. It is retiring. This applies to players that are retiring. So if there is a player retiring, and let's just say he's in your team, or even if he's in the transfer hub, if there's a player and he's in the transfer hub, whatever, because the same applies. Let's just say it said he's retiring. Keep it on him. Go out. And then it will have his details, because we can see that right now here. 88. This is all Christensen's details. So there are many ways that you can get the database details up, okay? A lot of people just think there's one way. You can do it several ways. But for things to apply, and we'll just have a look with Luna right now, because of course we changed a few things with Luna. For them to apply, you have to go back out, and then back in. Okay, and we can see that's true now because we can see his position's now centre mid. He's from Barbados, and he's now left-footed. Okay, so they won't update real time. You have to go back out and then back in. Okay, so yeah, so like I was saying, that applies with the retiring. So if he was retiring, it would say 1 there. The next one is the team ID. That's something you shouldn't be messing around with. The jersey, the player name, and player ID. Now this can be changed, and I showed in my other video, because Luna is a youth academy player. This is something that can't be changed. Okay, this is all being generated, and so there isn't a unique ID code for him. Okay, so if we apply an ID, it won't work. These will only apply to players that already exist in the game that aren't scouted, okay, from the youth academy. So you could, I showed it in the last tutorial video, but let's say if we click on Messi, and I'll just show you now just a random player. Okay, so we're just going to use Christensen as an example again. We go out, so we can see here that his the common name isn't there, but his player jersey name, that will be Christensen, what it says there, because the last name, we see that those two match, so you know that's going to be Christensen. And the same with his first name. His first name is Andreas. So if you want to give someone Andreas, or you wanted to give someone else a different name, let's just copy one. So we'll copy Andreas there. Andreas is first name. So we just copy this code. Copy. I've just done the same. Now this is his first name, Bob. Gonna paste that in. Okay. Back into game. We go back out. And straight away you can see it's updated. So Andreas. Happy days. That's how you change the name. Same applies to the surname. So moving down, and we're not going to go into too much detail with these because these are very straightforward. Exact same process as I've already shown. This is still loading on the player that we were just on. So these are all his details. If you want to edit anything, you quite simply just change it. Now, something just to very quickly bear in mind, if you do change any of these, their overall rating will not change. It's not like in previous FIFAs, where if you change this like by 60 or something, it will adapt the overall rating. It won't actually do that. And for this, I've just edited the stats of my new Youth Academy player, Akpan. Okay, so it says he's 79 plus 2 because I've just updated to 99, a load of his stats. Right here has got 100 of everything, but it still says that he's 79. So if we want to have his true reflection of what his stats are, we want to start a game. Okay, once we started a game, and then we go to the ratings, we can see here that Akpan it says a 91. Okay, so it won't update it, but I could now update it. It says Akpan is 91. That is his real life rating. Okay, so then what we'd want to do is when we come out of the game, go back to the table, obviously in Squad Hub, select him, and then the overall where it says here, it would say what he was, then you just change that to the 91. Okay, so that's the way that you would end up. This is on a different player now, but this is how you would end up making it. So the same applies to all the other ones here, okay? And just having a very quick look at the traits here. All the traits are listed, but Aaron Actu's actually updated this as well. If you want to give the player a trait, very straightforward again, same process. Some of these work, some of these don't work. If it says not working, then yeah, it's basically not working. But let's say you want to give him flair. So we click on flair here. We don't need to tick it or anything. All we need to do is the 0 represents no. The 1 represents yes, okay? And you can do this for load. So let me just click on. It will look a bit strange, to be honest, because you can't have that many traits displayed. Traits listed 22. Okay, so that's how you do it. And because this EA have done it in a way that one player can't get more than 6 traits, so you can still apply them, and then the visual will just look ridiculous like it does there, and it will go across. So just bear that one in mind. But that is how you apply the traits. Again, if you want to take any traits off, let's say someone's injury prone or something like that, you can just click on the player. Same old, and instead of it being a 1, change it to 0. Okay, so now we're looking at accessories, and a lot of these accessories just relate to the things that you can edit. So a lot of the stuff is things such as the armbands and stuff. I don't know exactly what's what, but if you go into the edit player in-game, if you have that option to edit the player in career mode, then you'll see what all these are. This is really, I guess, if the player's not your team, because otherwise it's more than easy to do it yourself. One thing that you may want to change here is the shoe color code. You have also got shoe color code too. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't actually know how these relate to each other. I really don't. All I know is if you go 1 to 30, I think it's 1 to 30 or 1 to 31, you can basically change the color. So you can have a little play around. This won't break anything. I've done it plenty of times. And you can just keep changing it until, right, there we go, we got some kind of pinkish color there. We'll change it again. So we change that 25. We'll change that down to, I don't know, let's say 17. And then I'll just change that one to 25. And let's see what happens. Okay, we can see a blue color. So this is what I do with all my players. As you can see, so they have kind of cool, they have cool boots, but in some pretty like leery colors that you can't get as standard. All right. So yeah, that's how you can change it. Like Gonzalo's nice pink boots there. So that's how you do that. The next one here is appearance, and this is the biggest one, really, I would say, in terms of, you know, having it's just cool. It's just cool to be able to change players' appearance and give them tattoos and stuff like that. So we can see here on GitHub.com, this is all the different tattoos, okay, and where they apply. So there are some. I'm happy that this guy here, Zozo, I did the same as well. Quite a bit of trial and error because there's a lot that didn't actually work, but these are the ones that work, okay, and it is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, it's pretty sweet when I had it to my career mode. All the tattoo options there. So it's got the number, and it relates to, like you see here, it says a left arm tattoos ID, and they're all the left arms, and then you can see the right arms. And the ones here, it says like right neck, back of neck. None of them worked when I tried to do it. So I think that's what this post is saying here as well. So yeah, this is where you could find all the tattoos. Put into there. We'll click OK. So this was on Gonzalo, and we can see there that has applied to Gonzalo. And then just having a look down, eye color, you can change eye color and things. Weight, okay, this won't change them physically. The height, this will change them physically. The hair type code, this is the one I do a lot, and like I say, with my hairs. And we can see the hairs that I've got here. Just having a look, this is in the PowerPoint. This is just, a lot of this, guys, a lot of the questions you get is, oh, what's this and where's that code? A lot of it, you just have to, unfortunately, you have to find it yourself, because there is so much, of course, there's so many hairs, and there's different tattoos, and there's different player IDs. It would take someone a hell of a long time to, you know, have this all in a very centralized area. So there are a bit all over the place, but it is all coming together. Okay, so feel free to use these ones, and you can have whatever one you want. So let's just say, what one should we use? Let me just pick a random one here. So let's just go for something obvious. We'll go for like a David Luiz star 79. So we can see Gonzalo here. So we can see this is what Gonzalo looks like now with his hair. In the table, we'll change his hair type, go to 79. Click OK. Back in game. Click back on him. Go in and out. And there we can see he's got David Luiz star hair. Cool. Now these are the ones that are, again, relatively new to the table, to be honest. Some of these aren't. Weak foot. 3. If let's say if he's got 5-star weak foot, that would be 4. Okay. So 5 means 4 because 0 equals 1. So in this, so if his weak foot is 0, it means he's got 1-star weak foot. 1 means 2, 3 means 4, etc. And that's all we really talk about here, because we could be here for absolutely ever going through everything. But hopefully that's enough information on the database table. So we're going to shut that one back down. So next down in the list, we have editing player. Okay, and this is just the simple editing player. That's the best way to put it. So this one unlocks the edit player in career mode, which is seen right now. And then this edit player right here, this is where you can edit all these bits and pieces here. You know, it's the database we were just in. It's got the main bits of that. Okay, it's got the main bits. And the way to edit that, because it all says question mark, you would go into the edit player, like so. Edit player, and then you pick on, let's say, Joseph Torres, and then we would click out, and then we can see here all the different options here, as it showed in the editing database for the editing player. Okay, so this is just a simpler version. If you're a little bit worried or you're new to it and you think, oh, I don't really want to change too much, there's a hell of a lot there. I just want to change, a couple of attributes. I just want his finishing to be, well, it's already 99. That's too good. I want his finishing to be 10. So that's just a simple version of using it. Not a lot really needs to be said there. So the next one is player training, and this is what I've used quite a lot in my career mode. I've hopefully incorporated it in an immersive way. And that's the thing with these. A lot of these you can use them, anything you can use to cheat, but you can just use it just to enhance it, just to make the game a little bit better. To me, these are quite self-explanatory. Hopefully they are to a lot of people. We'll remove the countdown. more efficient training, unlimited training sessions, training every day, training sim A. We're just going to apply them all. What we're going to do is we're going to click on simulate drill. We can see the countdown disappears and he gets an A. So happy days to that. And then we're going to quit. And then if we just click on that again, we can just train again. So it's like it's reset, like it never existed. All right. And then again, we go to simulate drill. Happy days. And you can see it's going up quite a bit there. He's got maxed out on the volleys and heading. But that's what it's done. It's basically super training, and he can train every day, and you can just keep on training, not just every day, you can just keep doing it over and over and over. Okay, so that's quite simple to understand, I think. Then we have the club finances. Club finances, this is probably one of the easier ones. It's one that a lot of old cheat engine tables have, so I'll just quickly show you how to use that. So of course you want to go to your budget, and then you would just want to click A, or whatever the button is to come back out, and then go back to it, and it will show you what your transfer budget is here. Then let's just change it to, let's say if I want 100 million. Click OK on that. We go back in game. We go back into finances, go back into budget, and then we can see it's there. Now, what you can actually do, just to show you, because sometimes people maybe get a little bit confused with this as well, is I just leave it like that. We go back to the table here. Let me just change it to 100 million again. Okay, so 100 million, back in the game. Now, if I just go left or right, it just edits it again. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, that. Next from the table is the free and unlimited releasing of players. And this one is freaking awesome. I love it. It can be good if you just want to get rid of a lot of players, which I have to do as part of my series because we move from team to team. But also you can just use it for anything. If there's players you just really don't like in the team and you're like, just that no one's buying them and they're not worth anything, just leave. So just show you how to quickly use that. Obviously select it on the table. Very simply, release player. Yes. And you're not being charged for these. Yes. Okay, he's on loan. Yes. And you can just keep going. Yes, 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 yes. Doesn't cost you a thing. And you could, of course, you naturally can't get, there's a maximum amount you can release because you need to have players to play. That, you know, EA will stop you from doing it. It will say you haven't got enough players, so no more. Player contract, and okay, this is a new one, and the other tutorials I've shown covers this one. Pretty darn straightforward, this. Click on the contract negotiation before you do the negotiation in game, and then you can play with any of these. So if you want them to have however much wage you want, let's just keep it like that. You can take out things like the bonus type, just set it to 0, and whatnot. Bonus type, change that to 0. The one here, the important one here is squad role. Squad role 5 is a prospect, and then 4 I think is rotation or future player, something like that, and then like 3 is rotation, important player, crucial player. Okay, and how this will work is when you go into the negotiations and you click enter negotiations, you can put whatever you want, and then the agent will always come back and say this won't work, and then it will come back. It won't show you anything. It will just come back and it will just say this is what they have put forward, but you won't be able to see it. You just click accept, and then it will just be all of these. Okay, so they're just hidden values, so you're absolutely fine with that. This disable negotiation status checks. This relates to if you've released a player, let's say, and you want to sign him back. Of course, he's in the free agents, and it says you're unable to go in for this player. Select this, you'll be able to go in for it. Also, if the player's only recently joined the club and you want to buy him from another team, select this, you'll be able to do it. Okay, so that's just to get rid of the, like it says, disable negotiation status check. So it's just that check that says, oh no, he can't move club yet, or no, you can't go in for this player because of X, Y, Z. That will just say, crack on, do what you want. So edit job offer, I won't go into this one again because I have got the separate video and nothing's changed from the other tutorial video, so that explains that. The transfer hub, change release clause to $1. Now this is allow transfer approach. So sorry, I've got that confused a little bit. The disable negotiation status checks, that relates more so to contract negotiations. So if you've let's say sat down with a player and they say, oh no, I'm not willing to talk, you click this, then they will. This one, sorry, was the one that you allow transfer approach. So if they have recently moved to club, or etc, like I just said, and that's the one you tick. The change release clause, the important one here to note is for this to work, your player has to, or the player you want to get has to have a release clause already. So none of these players have a release clause. If they did right now, it would be down to $1. okay? But because they haven't got release clauses, quite simply, it just says none. And that applies to players in the transfer hub. So if there's a player you want, make sure you go for a player with a release clause. And then when you go to him and tick the button in the table, happy days, it will go down to $1 or £1, whatever the in-game currency is. Okay, so the next one in the table, and this is one that gets quite a lot of questions, is the TransferINI, the transfers and TransferINI files. Now, if anyone has played the FIFA on PC for years and years and years, the INI files back in, I think, FIFA 13, 14, whatever, I can't even remember now off the top of my head, but this is what we could always change, and they made it very difficult, but now our Act 2 makes it possible again. So with this one, what you do is you would click on the change script again, and then this is kind of, this is what, yeah, the old school stuff that I quite familiar with, but this is quite self-explanatory with a lot of things. So force user bid chance. Daily chance that we attempt to force a bid on user player. So if you have listed a player and no one's going for him, you're probably going to want to change this, okay? So you might want to change this to, I don't know, 75. Again, the links are in the description, but you can see a config file that Act 2 uses. And we can see it here. Again, this is on, this is pastebin.com, and I just followed the link, but you can find it through all the links I've sent you, and this is what he uses. Okay, so that's how you use the INI script. So next one is the sim match settings, and if you see this notice, then make sure you follow it. It just says activate script before you load your career mode save. Again, I think that's quite easy to understand. Just make sure you activate it before you load the career mode save, and once you do, otherwise it basically won't work. This is quite straightforward. Again, max cards, just select these, don't lose stamina. When you go to sim a game, you'll notice you don't get any cards. You'll notice you don't get any injuries. You'll notice that the next game, you'll have full stamina. Okay, so pretty easy. Match settings, and this is one I've played around with quite a lot. The ultimate difficulty, I was using that for quite some time. Something to note with the ultimate difficulty is, I think, to be honest, it's really meant, which is why you can't use it in game, it's meant for Ultimate Team, because it's meant to be linked with chemistry. Otherwise, it's not very difficult, I'll be honest. It's not very difficult at all. But you can change a lot of things here, the half length and stuff. Most of these things you can edit anyway. Okay, side changer. This is quite cool to play around with. You can do CPU versus CPU. So if you're in a game, you can be playing a game. So let's say we're playing a game right now, and I just think, oh, I need to go to the toilet or whatever. I don't know. And I can't be bothered to pause it. You can come in here and you can just CPU, play CPU, and then the teams will just start playing each other. Happy days. So the next one is morale, and again, activate before. And well, this one is a little, the one I would say use, if you're going to use, if you want your players to have good morale, click the morale levels happier players, okay? The disable morale, what I found with it is what it can do is the next season, it can just make all your players, it's only temporary, but all your players will be unhappy. Every single one of them will be like ridiculously unhappy. So the best thing to do is to just the morale levels, the happier players. Now, something to note is this only applies when you're playing, okay? So if you select this and you're playing, no player is going to come to you and say they want to leave, but let's say you save the game, come and play it again. Much like the animation, if you've got a player that's really unhappy and you haven't selected this, then he's still gonna want to go. Okay. Scout management, quite straightforward here. 355 scout for the scouts that you send out to the countries. Yeah, you just click free 5-star scout, and just like that. I'll just show you quickly. I've already got 2 5-star anyway, but I'll click on this one, and we can see they cost nothing, and they're all 5-star. Easy peasy. Global transfer network, again, activate before you load. It just reveals the player data. So yeah, you don't need to scout the players. You can see, like back in the old school FIFAs, where if you wanted a player, you could just freaking search him and you can see everything. Yeah, that's how you do it. Now this is awesome, this one. Again, make sure you activate this before. And this is one that I've used loads. And just to explain these, because I think this is quite big for a lot of people, I'll explain what everyone is. So you sent a scout out, let's just say for some of these, and you're waiting for him to come back. It's going to come back the next day. Okay, so the scout report comes back. So you load the career mode the day before the scout comes back. What you want to do is, okay, scout report players 15. So when he comes back, you jump back in game. He's gonna bring back 15 players. Okay, reveal overall potential. That's exactly what it means. Now these primary attributes and secondary attributes. Now depending on what position the player comes back at, the position type has and style, so technically gifted, attacker, etc. They have a primary attributes range and a secondary attributes range. So does every type of player in the game. The primary attributes range, that's what determines the player rating based on their position, which is why with things like Ultimate Team, you might notice that sometimes a player will have freaking awesome stats but a very low rating. It's all a load of rubbish because it's just the calculation that EA does based on the left midfielder. They should be good at dribbling, for example. So if they have 99 dribbling, it's going to mean their overall's a lot higher. Now, if you gave that dribbling to a defender, their rating's probably not going to change very much because they're rated on their defending ability and other stats. Okay, so it's something that always bugs me about things like Ultimate Team. So I'm like, oh, people get so sucked into, they see that, oh, he's a 93 or something and think, oh, he must be a sick player. No, it's a load of rubbish. Something never to forget is that these are just codes like floating around. And although you might see a nice shiny card that's worth a lot of money, trust me, there's a lot of players out there, such as the black cards that are, let's say, I don't know, whatever, but there's a lot of players that play really, really well, and it's just all in your head. That some of these amazing ones play absolutely insane. But anyway, I digress a little bit. So yeah, this basically means that their primary attributes range is going to be higher. So it means that when you, let's say if you go for a winger, if you select this, they're going to have things like the dribbling going to be better, like the sprint speed is going to be better, and agility and things like that. The secondary attribute range, it just means that all the other attribute range that isn't based on that winger, so it might be things like defending, it might be things like jumping, strength, they will all be averaged out higher than they would normally. Okay. The next two ones, very straightforward. If you want the player that you scout to come back and have 5-star weak foot, you select this. 5-star skill moves, you select that. The minimum player age for promotion. So if you select this, it means that you can promote any player, regardless if they're 15 or 16. Of course, it says 12 because then if you select the next one, which is the player range, you can actually scout a 12-year-old. So if you want to have a 12-year-old kid running around in your first team, then happy days, why not? So yeah, the 95 potential just means that every player that comes through, all these 15 players will have a 95 potential. And this is a pretty cool one here. This is one I've used recently. Set up multiple scouting networks in the same country. That's a cool one. That's, again, if you want to send 3 of the scouts to England, you can do. Or if you want to send the scout to any country. Okay, so how you do this, because I was a little bit confused when I did it. You select on the send scout to any country, and then we jump in game to have a look. So the scout's available, and then you'd set up the scouting network, and we just go back to the table, and we can see here that it says the nationality ID. So we'll click that. Now, if you change this, and again, reference to all the links in the description, I'll just show you on the website. So let's say if I want to send someone to, where can we not send them? Bermuda, 68. We'll change it to 68. We'll go back in game. I'll select anywhere because it doesn't make a difference. This is where I was getting confused because I was like, but yeah, just so we click on Algeria, 3 months. Okay. And what does it say? Bermuda. Okay. So that's how you do that. And then finally, we get to the last one, which is the in-game hacks. This is when you're playing the game. So let's say if I'm in a game right now, you click on the match timer and you can end the current half. So if I click that, it will then go to 45 minutes or 90 minutes. You can freeze the timer. That's going to freeze it. Reset the timer. So the time, like it said here, will go to 0. And then you have unlimited substitutions. And how this works is it only works with the substitutions you have on the bench. So you can't, it's not going to allow you to sub everyone in your squad. Once you start the game, depending on what type of game you're playing, you might have 7 subs available, you might have 5 subs. If you click on the unlimited substitutions, you can then use all the 5 or all the 7, okay? And then the final ones here, we can see editing things such as disable substitutions, unlimited substitutions again, 5-star skill moves for all players, 5-star skill moves for all players, away team injured players, never injured players, never tired players, and away goal scored. So if you wanted to, let's say you have 2-0 on the thing, you can do. And again, guys, yeah, honesty here, you can use these in Ultimate Team, but just remember that if you do, it's a risk. So yeah, that is absolutely everything from the table. Obviously, I've gone into some areas in a little bit more detail than others, and I can imagine this video will be quite long, which is why everything is bookmarked. If you have watched it all the way through, then fair play to you. You should be a freaking ninja at the table. But besides that, I think we're done. So I just want to use this opportunity now just to say a massive thanks to Aranactu for creating the table and for his continued effort. Like I say, you can see down here where it says supporting the donations. So it definitely does help him out. And if we can keep him at it for future FIFAs, it's going to keep a lot of us playing. Because like I say, honest hand on heart, if this table didn't exist, I would not play FIFA 18. I wouldn't play any FIFA because I'll be bored out of my head. If you did enjoy the video, guys, if you could give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel for any future content, that would be awesome. Besides that, thank you very much. Take it easy, and I'll see you very soon.